Hi there, my name is Santiago and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I made a YouTube video, but that's because this last month has been pretty crazy. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, which you can at this handle, you would have seen that about a month ago my grandfather passed away from COVID. It's still pretty difficult for me to talk about. My grandfather was a really big part of my life. He lived with my parents and my siblings and me basically since I can remember. He helped me in so many ways. Sorry, I can't talk about it. He was just a big part of my life and I lost him, so this month has been pretty difficult without him. This video is different from all of that. As you can see by the title of this video, I have finally narrowed down my decision for medical school. I know exactly where I'll be going. But before I get to that, I do want to say that I have had second looks, and because second look was virtual, I can definitely film those in a way that would make sense for any of you who are applicants interested in those schools, including Georgetown, Drexel, Tufts, UNLV, UNR. So if you want to see any of those second looks, let me know down below. I would have a blast filming those and really coming up with a way that would be interesting for all of you. And just reliving that experience as an applicant, as an interviewer, as someone who could have gone to any of those schools. But yeah, I want to share with you guys where I'm going to go to medical school. I know a lot of you already know because again, I already shared the news basically anywhere: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, like it's all there. But before we discuss that, I just want to quickly go over what my AMCAS application, what my cycle looked like. Really quickly. I submitted my application full of the experiences, my personal statement, my grades, everything was uploaded the minute that I was allowed to submit it, which I think is like June 1st. I talk about my AMCAS application and list out my experiences, go over my personal statement, my grades, my coursework in a separate video, which I would suggest that you check it out if you are applying the cycle. I think it's pretty helpful really just to look at another person's application, and I think I did a pretty detailed job there, so check that out if you're interested. But as I share in that video, I didn't have an MCAT score ready by the time I applied because my MCAT had been canceled. What was it, like late April, early May? Yeah, I just didn't have a score that I thought I was gonna have ready by the time it came to apply to medical school. So by the time my AMCAS application got processed and approved or whatever, I think late June, medical schools reached out to me once they were able to receive it, saying that I had an incomplete application because I didn't have an MCAT score. Some schools still allowed me to submit secondaries. Other schools held off until I had that MCAT score ready for them. Luckily, I think I got it all done by mid-July or late July. Definitely before August. Then once that happened, I got more secondaries, and really I wasn't done with secondaries until September for some schools, which is pretty late in the game, which here are the 20 schools that I applied to. All of them sent me secondaries, but again, I think I could have been more successful in my application cycle if I had that MCAT score earlier, and if I hadn't procrastinated with my secondaries, and if I would have just cranked them out and gotten them done in a timely fashion. At the end, it really didn't matter for me. I was still successful in my application cycle, but this is something that you should keep in mind if you're applying this cycle. Have an MCAT score ready as soon as possible and get those secondaries done. It's a pain. It's just a pain. It's a terrible pain to write essay after essay and really write them in a way that you are showcasing that you have read a medical school's goal, their mission, really what they're about. It's gonna take you a while, so please, 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 if you take anything from this video, get your secondaries done as soon as possible. So then after I got all my secondaries submitted and ready to go, I know I got 7 interviews by these different medical schools. I'll correct that if I'm wrong. And then from there, I got 6 acceptances, and then the rest of the schools I ultimately got rejected from. Maybe in another video, I'll talk about my experiences when it comes to that. Ultimately, I was still successful, but I feel like I could have been more successful. But this was like the Fauci effect medical school application cycle, meaning there was a historic number of applicants, making the applicant pool bigger, making the competitive applicant pool bigger, making it just harder to get into medical school. So I'm proud of where I am, but it would have just been interesting to see how things could have gone for me in a normal application cycle. All right, but where are you going to medical school, Santiago? I know that's the reason a lot of you guys clicked on this video, but I have kind of like a lesson to be learned story of how I got to my medical school choice. So just stay tuned for this story because it's probably going to be important for all of you applicants this cycle and definitely for cycles to come. So about about a week ago, I want to say, I had finally came to the decision that I was going to go to Georgetown University Medical or School of Medicine. That's my decision. I was really happy with it. I had dreamed of living in DC, and of all the schools that I had gotten accepted to, that was the one that really spoke to me the most and the one that I thought I was really going to go to. And yeah, I just had looked up apartments, looked at my scholarship that I was offered, and really compared that to the loans that I would have to take out at that school and other schools and the scholarships that they had offered me. Georgetown just made the most sense. But I held on until April 30th, which is the first day that you can commit to enroll. Now that's where I got confused, because I thought that commit to enroll meant that come April 30th, come that May 1st, schools need to know where you're gonna go, and if you hold more than one acceptance, you automatically get withdrawn, you automatically get pushed out of any system that you didn't click plan to enroll. And that thought just shook me. I knew I wanted to go to medical school this cycle, and I didn't want to jeopardize my entrance, didn't want to jeopardize me getting into medical school. So come April 30th, I withdrew my final acceptances. Up to that point, you can have 3. So I withdrew it from UNLV, my state school, and I withdrew it from UCLA, where I had been waitlisted about a month ago, and then kept my acceptance at Georgetown and clicked on the AMCAS system saying, I fully commit to enroll at this school, basically authorizing and fully accepting it and fully telling other schools, this is where I plan to go. So this is where it gets crazy. I finished all that up on my computer, and like the minute I looked off of my screen and glanced down at my phone, I noticed that I had a notification for a voicemail from a San Francisco phone. Now the area code is the same as someone from Georgetown, so I figured, oh, they probably left me another voicemail. Let me click on it, let me see like what they just said. I clicked on it, and immediately I recognized that I didn't know the voice without fully giving full details of that voicemail, because I just believe like calls are private. That call or that voicemail essentially said that I was accepted to the UCLA School of Medicine, and I was being offered a Geffen scholarship. Now I had been kind of familiar with what a Geffen scholarship was, but I wasn't fully sure. So like I ran back to my computer, I guess like just into my computer, typed in what the Geffen scholarship was, like looked it all up, and I recognized that it was a full tuition scholarship with a monthly stipend. Basically, like in layman terms, or layman, whatever the expression is, it's a full ride to medical school with a monthly stipend, like a super prestigious award. And I had just withdrawn from the school literally 30 seconds before this craziness, right? So I'm freaking out, like, you know, getting super excited with my mom, making phone calls to my friends, like figuring out like, what do I do? Like I fully committed to Georgetown, which again is an excellent school, but I would, you know, have died to go to UCLA, but I thought I was waitlisted. I hadn't heard back yet. I thought I wasn't gonna get in. Here I was 30 seconds after I had made a final decision with the possibility of going to medical school for free at this prestigious university with this prestigious award. So I called back to the university, and we had a full conversation. It was lots of laughs, but in the moment, like I was very stressed out, but it all got resolved in the end. So yeah, long story to really share with you guys that the school that I'll be attending is the UCLA David Geffen School of Medicine on the David Geffen Scholarship. I am so honored and still in disbelief that this is my life, that this is where I'll be going, that, you know, a university not only of that status and of that lucrative experience believed in me, but they believed in me in such a way that based off my merits, they think I can do great things, that their university will lead me in the direction for me to do those things. So it's been a crazy month based off my personal life, but definitely because of this last week, really just affirming where I'm gonna go to medical school. So I know that was a long drawn out way to tell you guys where I'm gonna go to medical school, but crazy experience, and one that I felt like I needed to share with y'all. Really the takeaway from that story is come April 30th, for all of you applicants, you do have to sort of have a solidified idea of the main medical school you're gonna go to. But come that April 30th, there is so much movement of people withdrawing from certain schools, you know, being moved to other schools, that if you're on a wait list, stay on that wait list. If you really wanna go to that medical school, just hold on for a little bit more. Go to your specific school that you have gotten accepted to, are really excited and, really thrilled to embark on as a medical school student, look at their deadlines, and if their deadline isn't until mid-May or the first week of May or whatever the case is, don't fully commit yourself until you have to. You don't want to go through what I went through. Luckily it all got resolved, but what if I had withdrawn from the school a day prior to, just even that morning, just been like, all right, I'm withdrawing from all the schools, like I'm fully committed to Georgetown. I just question how it would have played out and how much more of a headache it could have been, and how it all would have ended. But yeah, anyways, it got fixed, and just take the takeaway from me. And lastly, before I let y'all go, I'm gonna go be back on my schedule. I'm gonna be making weekly videos on Monday, asterisk, and just showcasing second looks, showcasing my immunizations, doing apartment searching for LA, because I guess that's where I'm gonna be living now. What's up? And lastly, like, I hope nothing that I've said comes off as braggadocious or comes off, in a weird way. And if it does, let me know. I'll try to explain it in a better way. But I hope that I am expressing that I am proud of myself as an immigrant, as a former undocumented dreamer, as a son of teenage parents, that I am very proud of myself. And, even though ultimately I will no longer be attending the school that I thought I was going to be attending, I'm still very honored that they thought that I would make a great physician and believed in me enough to send me an acceptance. All of these schools, that's the message that I have received from them and from this whole experience. That being said, I'm also in awe of where I am today and excited of what still awaits for me, especially as I now embark on this new journey of being a medical student at UCLA David Geffen School of Medicine. It's crazy. It's so crazy to say that out loud. All right, enough of that. Thank you again for all of you who have joined my YouTube channel. We've grown pretty crazy in this last month of me just not being active. I appreciate you all joining me on this journey. Let me know down below if there's specific videos that you want to watch, anything that I haven't already mentioned. And yeah, I am excited for me and for all of you joining me on this journey. Take care, get vaccinated, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.